Today I'm making one of my family favorite snacks, onde-onde or buah Malacca. It's a sweet snack coated with freshly grated coconut and satisfying pop of liquid gula Malacca. This recipe makes 100 pieces medium-sized onde-onde. The ingredients needed are 400 grams of glutinous rice flour, 100 grams of wheat flour, 40 grams or around 11 pieces of fresh pandan leaf, washed and pat dry, 80 grams of filtered gula Malacca, half teaspoon of salt, 330 grams of freshly grated coconut, 450 ml of water. This will be slightly wet. The water can be reduced to 400 ml if preferred. The full list of ingredients is in the See More link. First, cut all the pandan leaves into smaller pieces. Place them all in the blender. Add all the water into the blender as well. And blend for 20 seconds or until well combined. Strain the blended pandan juice through a coffee strainer or muslin cloth and squeeze the juice from the pulp. This removes all the grit and fiber, leaving only pure pandan juice. The color is perfectly green. This will be the liquid for our flour. This will result in beautiful bright green balls. We have about 450 ml here. Set it aside. Next, cut all the gula Malacca into smaller pieces. This makes it easier to melt later. A quick tip for storing gula Malacca. I usually find them with a holes and containing white powder after a few months. To keep them fresh, I store them in the freezer in a Ziploc bag. This batch lasted for 2 years already. How do you store your gula Malacca? Let me know in the comment. All done? Set it aside. Sprinkle half of the salt over the grated coconut and mix. Repeat with the other half. Remove any coconut shell and fibers that you find. Now we can cook it. Prepare a pot of hot boiling water over medium heat. Place the grated coconut on the steamer and cover the pot. Let it steam for 8 minutes. Then, over a large mixing bowl, sieve the wheat flour and glutinous rice flour. Mix the flour until well combined. Can you use pure wheat flour or pure glutinous rice flour? Yes, you can. However, I recommend mixing them for a really soft, chewy onde-onde. Pure wheat flour makes them quite firm, while pure glutinous rice flour make it too soft. All done? Pour about 200 ml of pandan juice extract and mix until well combined. This is too dry. Add another 150 ml of pandan juice and stir until well combined. It is still dry and getting more difficult to mix with the spatula as it is very sticky. I am adding all the balance of pandan juice and mixing it with my hand to get a very even consistency. Make sure to include the flour stuck to the side. You can see the batter is slightly wet now. It is not possible to make it into a ball, so I am adding another 2 tablespoons of glutinous rice flour. This will make the batter slightly dry, but still a little too soft. The onde-onde made from this batter will eventually get stuck at the bottom of the pot. However, it will dry out as we are working through the batter, and the consistency will become perfect. If you prefer the batter to be perfect from the start, add another 2 tablespoons of glutinous rice flour. After 8 minutes, the steamed coconut should be cooked by now. Holding it with the steamer clamp, give it a mix. Transfer the coconut to a wide tray. Spread them out to cool faster and set aside. Now we have all the components: onde-onde batter, cut gula Malacca, steamed coconut, and a pot of boiling water. Increase the heat to medium, then grab about a tablespoon of dough and indent it slightly. Scoop about half a teaspoon of gula melaka and press it into the dough. Close the edges and roll until the perfect round shape is formed. Then immediately add it to the boiling water. Repeat with the rest of the dough. Alternatively, we can also roll the dough slightly before indenting it. I find this set the shape much more easier than just flattening it. To have them cook at the same time, I am preparing the onde onde and placing them on the tray first. Alright, this is what I have now. Add them to the pot. Once dropped in the hot water, they will sink down to the bottom. See, the first two have already changed color but are stuck. Nudge them a little and they will separate from the pot. When the onde onde is cooked, they will float to the top. I like to leave them there to continue cooking for another 2 to 3 minutes to let the gula melaka melt further. Continue making more onde onde. It is also okay to make it and directly drop it in the pot as well. I am teasing them again to make sure they are not stuck at the bottom of the pan. Alright, I am about 1/8 through the onde onde dough. The cooked onde onde has been floating for about 3 minutes now. Remove them with a strainer. Shake off the excess water, then drop them into the tray of steamed coconut. Spread the coconut around them and let it rest for about 1 minute. Now we can remove them from the coconut. Gently pick them and place onto the serving plate. Oops, some of them have already burst. It is alright. The rest of the onde onde has cooked. Remove with the strainer and cover them with the coconut. About half of the onde onde has been made. The dough has dried a little as well, and it is now perfect for rolling and cooking. See, the onde onde now floats up on its own. These onde onde have been floating for some time now. Strain them and cover them in coconut. Then remove them from the tray and onto the serving plate. My serving plate is now too messy, so I am rearranging them on another serving plate for the camera. They have significantly cooled down now. Let's eat! So soft and chewy. The gula melaka has melted down perfectly. Delicious! It's recommended to wait until fully cool, as the hot sugar can pop and burn the mouth. I have discovered that keeping them at room temperature for a few hours also melts the gula melaka completely. They can be refrigerated in an airtight container for about 3 days. Just steam to reheat to enjoy the chewy and soft texture of the dough and melted gula melaka. Thank you for watching. Please like and share if you have enjoyed this video. This is Home Cooking with Somjit. Thank you and bye-bye!